Hello, everyone. Isaiah here with Cheeky Scientist, and I have on Asia Isbol with us from Cheeky Scientist as well. Hi, Asia.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Isaiah.
Good to see you. We are doing this short live split screen video for you for a couple of reasons. One, we've really been focusing on resumes for PhDs lately on this page, if you've seen any of our recent posts. And one of the reasons for this is that we're doing one of our very rare free public webinars on resumes today, actually, in about 30 minutes, depending on when you're seeing this video. If you're interested in joining the webinar, we're going to go through a lot of different topics. There is a post pinned to the top of our Cheeky Scientist Facebook page. So go there and you can register for the webinar for free. I think we still have a few seats left, but it does start in 30 minutes. So you want to do that. So Asia, the reason I brought you on is because I wanted to talk about 3 resume no-nos, really, things to avoid, things that we see over and over again in the association that PhDs are doing on their resumes that are really keeping their resumes not just from getting through applicant tracking system software, but keeping them from getting a phone call, even if they get that resume in the hands of somebody. Right. And the first one is really failing to put a quantified result in every single bullet point. And I think as PhDs, we think, okay, results are important. I'll kind of talk about results, but at the end of the day, it's really just what I do that matters. Maybe you have extensive experience. You've worked at Baxter, Amgen, Shire. Maybe you can talk a little bit about how important results are on a resume.
So they're so important that I would say if you don't have a result in your bullet, don't include it. It's not even worth including. And I would mention that a list of tasks is not a result. Yes. And you guys are more than your list of tasks. So, I want to see how you're applying the skills that you have that then leads to an outcome. Because that's what we care about in business, right? We care about the fact that you can make decisions and drive to outcomes. So I want to know how you're getting there and the kinds of experiences that you've had that have led to an outcome that's meaningful.
Right. And a great takeaway there is that it's not so much what the actual outcome is, especially if this is your first job in industry you're going for. It's just the fact that you understand the importance of outcomes and communicating them and of quantifying them. And we'll talk about this on the webinar more, but there are a lot of results that you have achieved. A discovery is a result. Optimizing or inventing a new protocol or methodology is a result. Grant funding, etc. The second no, as in something to avoid, not to do, is forgetting to put in keywords that company cares about. Right? A lot of companies they'll post a job posting online, or if you set up an informational interview and you've learned from somebody what's important, they've told you the words. Right? Every company has its own company speak. If they've told you the words that are important for that position, don't ignore those. Don't think you have to invent new words. It's not plagiarizing to use the same words from a job posting on your resume. So can you just talk real quick, Asia, about why that's important? Why, if you're looking at a candidate's resume, why do you want to see the same words that were on the job posting?
Right. So first of all, I want to make sure that you are aware of what you're actually going to be doing on the job. And so if you're using the same words or the same vocabulary, then I think it shows that you have an understanding of what the job is actually about. And it also shows me that you've done your research, right? So I can tell when I look at a resume, when I've interviewed somebody, if they've given me just some generic resume versus something that's tailored to the job. And when you tailor your resume using keywords, you're showing me a commitment that you actually want that job. So it automatically puts you at the top of the pile if I see that you're tailoring your resume with keywords.
Perfect. And the last one is forgetting the last section on your resume. Now, we recommend a 5-part resume, and we go through this. We're going to go through this in detail in the webinar that's starting in about 28 minutes now. So join that webinar if you can. Again, at the top of our Facebook page is a pinned post where you can register for free for that webinar. It's about to happen. But that final section is where you put in your honors, awards, and hobbies, right? Things like your volunteer experience, stuff you've done outside of your PhD work. This part is crucial, and something that a lot of PhDs forget is that the first person to see your resume in most cases is not going to have a PhD. They're certainly not going to have your level of technical knowledge in your individual field. Right. Instead, it's going to be a hiring manager recruiter, and this section is something that can help humanize you, show you're well-rounded, something that person without a PhD can identify with. So can you talk about why that's important a little bit more, Asia?
So when we're working in industry, we're working with real people and with real humans, and we're spending a lot of time together, right? And so we want to know that the person that we're working with kind of fits, the company culture, fits the team culture. Frankly speaking, a lot of companies will teach you the skills that you need to learn from a technical standpoint. What they really want to know is, am I going to be able to do what I need to do and accomplish what I need to accomplish with this person? And one of the ways that you can start to get there a little bit is by getting to know them. So that's part of the reason that I like to see that stuff. And also, I want to connect with that person when I'm interviewing them or if I'm working with them. And it's hard for me to connect with technical jargon, potentially, right, that you're putting on your resume. I can connect a lot more if I see who you are as a person.
Yes.
And those things are really interesting, and they can start a really great conversation. And what you guys should know is that it helps you build rapport with whomever is seeing that resume. And that's exactly what you want to do in an interview situation.
Yes, and don't overthink it. If you don't have any volunteer experience, and if you like spending time outdoors, you're a hiking enthusiast, that you can put these things in, something that's broad that most people like, and it will very likely be the first question they ask you on a phone screen, right? They'll ask you how you are that day, and then they'll say, "Hey, I saw that you enjoy hiking. I enjoy hiking too. What's a recent hike that you've been on?"
Yeah.
So very important to do. Don't forget that section. Again, these have just been 3 quick resume no-nos. We're about to start our resume webinar, public resume webinar. If you haven't reserved your seat for it, you can go to our page. If you're not watching this directly on our page, go to our actual Cheeky Scientist Facebook page. At the top of it is a pinned post for that resume webinar, and you can click the link and join because we're about to start that. So thank you, Asia, for your time. Thank you, everyone.
Happy to help. Thank you guys for tuning in.
We'll see you on another interview soon.
Thank you.